and welcome to Three Sisters, One Heart podcast. And please allow me to welcome you to our very first attempt at a podcast vlog. Is it a vlog?
I think it's a vlog. If you add a video, I think it's a vlog.
A podcast on YouTube. We've had several people, my grandma including, that keep asking us, where can I see your show? Where can I see your podcast? And I try to explain to Grandma that it's like a radio show, you have to listen to it. But she's not alone in this, so we're going to try our hand at YouTube. So apologies ahead of time if our lighting isn't great or our sound isn't 100%. This is our first go round with this, and we're going to have a learning curve because we are not technical types. Not one of us.
Not even slightly.
Not one of us. Shannon is our more technical.
She's the most technical, and I promise you guys, I've got nothing to brag about.
Yeah. So bear with us, but welcome. This is our 30th episode. If you'll follow along with me,
it's super fun that for our 30th, we're actually doing our first video.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I like that.
So we figured, since we've been going for a while, we would go ahead and introduce ourselves for our YouTube viewers. I guess I'll go first.
Oldest youngest.
All right, so I'm Tiffany. I am the eldest. I am 34. What else? Oh, I've been married 15 years to my husband.
Crazy. I remember saying that. That's so crazy.
Well,
that doesn't seem right.
It's not 15 until February, but I figure that's close enough.
Yeah,
when
you're allowed to claim it.
Yeah, when you hit this point, it's like, close enough. We've been married about 15 years. We have 2 kids. They're both girls. Our daughter Nova, who is 14, and our daughter Annika, who is 12. We homeschooled them for about the first 10 years of their education, and then our daughter Annika decided that she would like to try public school. So we have been on that endeavor for the past, she started in 4th grade, 4th, 5th, she's in 6th grade now, so the past 3 years. I did not want them to go to public school, and I certainly did not want them to go to public school in middle school, which is like the worst age in my opinion. But that being said, they're both thriving just as well as they did when they were homeschooled. They are thriving in public school, and I'm just proud of those little suckers. If you guys have ever done the 16 personality, did you guys do those?
I did, but I couldn't tell you my results.
You can't remember?
No. I have the email saved, but that's as far as that got.
Well, dear viewers and listeners, if you are familiar with the 16 personality types, I am an ENFJ protagonist type. So if you're familiar with that, you kind of know. I can't remember honestly what they all stand for. I know E is for extrovert. And I don't remember what the other ones stand for. But that's my personality type. I'm also a Cancer, and I'm a firm believer in the zodiac signs. And while I'm not going to follow a horoscope to a T, I will probably take bits and pieces.
I've been having a lot of fun with my horoscope lately. It's like the radio station that I listen to. Every morning they do horoscopes, and because I go to work, I'm working so much right now. It's so early, I catch it. Every morning, and it's like a nice little positive spin. It's like, no, they said my day's gonna be a 9, so it's gonna be a 9.
You're gonna make it a 9.
See, that's great. And for me too, it's like I take what fits and what doesn't. Do you find that well, since we're on the subject of the zodiac, and it's a little detour from my own personal introduction, but
that's what we do.
Get used to it. What is your zodiac sign?
Gemini.
Gemini, the twins. Shannon is very much a Gemini.
Oh gosh, yes.
Impulse, emotional, all of the above.
Our mommy is also a Gemini. Hi, mommy. And they are one and the same. And I know that drives them nuts when I say that, but
no, it doesn't. I think
you guys are like, you have such similar personalities. But even when you were younger, you and mom always, like, I feel like you guys got along the best.
We clicked.
Yeah. So
we're very similar.
It's like what is it? It's like when you're clicking, it's all good, and then when you're not, it's so good. It's like you're both not good. Yeah. It was the same for Nova. My daughter Nova is a Taurus, and her little friend Josie is also a Taurus. And when we would get them together, even when they were little, it was like that they're playing, they're amazing, they're getting along great, and then all of a sudden they're literally beating the crap out of each other. And you're like, should we separate them? Or do we let them beat each other up, you know? Because you just get to where you're like, it's too much, you know, you're like constantly separating them, you're like, I guess they're just going to go around until someone wins.
That's what I do with mine.
Oh gosh. And Heather, your zodiac is?
Virgo.
Virgo. Heather is a good bit Virgo-like. Yeah. I would say we're all pretty closely
tied to our
paired
signs.
To our signs. Yeah.
We were born in the right.
So, let's see, a little more about me. I am a nanny. I've been a nanny for about 2 years now. I love my work as a nanny. I'm a people person, and I love people, which I know sounds crazy. When I say this to people, sometimes they're like, okay.
No, you really are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
you're like the definition. Like,
I'll say, it doesn't matter where you are.
Your picture is in the
walking through the store,
person.
walking through the store, and it's just like, oh, hey, how you doing? Just like, you're like,
do you know
them? You're like, no, I have no idea who that was.
So, I find it to be very rewarding work. My love language is also acts of service. So I feed off of that energy. I feel loved that way. I give love that way. Up until this point, because our daughters were homeschooled for the first 10 years of their schooling, well, less for Annika, it was 8 years for her, but tomato, tomato. Because of that, I didn't work. I stayed home with the kids. I homeschooled them. I did typical housewife type duties. And then when I went back into work, I had not worked for so long that I just kind of got back into what I was doing before I had kids, which was like hospitality, working as a hostess. And I love that work too because I like people. I liked being a hostess because I could greet people. What I had a really hard time with is that in the restaurant business, there's a lot of turnover. Not always. You get those like handful of restaurants where they have like the same people trying to for years. Constantly people in and out, and I would have the hardest time, like emotionally. And I know that sounds silly, but like I would have people working with them for a week or two, and then all of a sudden, you know, we're talking about what's going to be happening in the next couple of months, and then the next day I come into work and they're like, oh, they're gone. You know, I would be like,
there's
so
never
let
any
down.
warning.
I would be so let down. Especially if it was like, you know, people I was working closely with, like training and stuff like that. I would be like, oh, but they thought they were in it, you know? So I had a really hard time with that, and I had a really hard time with, like, the gossip. The restaurant business can be really negative and really gossipy. I could see where, like,
it is
like a doctor's office would be very gossipy, too.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Drama.
Try corporate America. Oh, my God.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I
It's
worked in a corporate office. So, yeah, it's bad.
Well, it's too much for me, and I soon after decided, like, I needed to find something else, and I watch kids all the time. I kept Aubriana, I kept the boys, I stayed at home with my own. It just was much more rewarding work for me, so I love my nanny job. I nanny 2 children, Declan, he'll be 3 in January, and Quinn, who will be 5 in a couple of weeks.
5 months.
Yeah, sorry. I'm a little nervous about the camera. Are you guys any nervous?
Not as much as I thought I would be.
Oh, sorry guys. Anyhow, and I just love them to pieces. Probably the biggest issue is that I worry that one day, because they won't need me for long, you know, Declan will be going
there is an expiration date.
And I worry, like, I'll see them in Publix, and he'll be like, you know, 18, and he'll be like, Mom, why is that weird lady staring at me? You know? I'll be over here like, oh, like puppy eyes.
You turned into such a nice boy.
But I love my job, and I could see doing something like this is way more fulfilling for me. It makes me feel less drained, especially emotionally so. My family and I are also vegan. We've been vegan around, I almost want to say like 12 years, because Nova is 14. She was around 2. So around 12 years. And our children are vegan.
I'm surprised you don't know that date. Like, I feel like that's such a big part of your life.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, because like say we also are part of a local vegan meetup group, and in the group, people will be like, oh, it's my vegan anniversary, right? Like the day that I decided to go vegan, and I'm like, somewhere around this time.
Oh my God, you have to make one up.
I know, I should know it, but I don't. I have no idea. And I think a big part of it is because when my family, I should start off by saying, when
you were kind of gradual.
Yeah, well, we went all in, but like it was a huge learning curve. It was a huge learning curve. So like, I have been vegetarian since about 14, and when I met my husband, I was 18, and he was 20 or 21, about to be 21. And do you guys remember MySpace?
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember LiveJournal?
No.
Okay. So we had MySpace, we had LiveJournal.
I remember because you've talked about it before, but I never used it.
Yeah. And he would like post on those were the early social medias, and he would post like pictures of him eating like bloody cheeseburgers, and it would say, meat is murder, and murder tastes good. And I'm thinking, oh my God.
No way.
How is this ever I swear.
Wow.
How is this ever going to work? I can't see it. And it did. We dated, we married. I would make spaghetti for dinner. I would make his with meat sauce. I would make mine with just regular sauce, and we went on like that for several years until he came to me and said, you know, I have been watching some videos and stuff, and I'm really feeling this needs to go vegan. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll see how long it
Sure, whatever. Oh, you want to go vegan? All right, buddy, I'm all in. Let's do this. You know, like trying to like call his bluff. And I thought, he's not going to make it a week. He did. I was so impressed with like his conviction for it. And it was a learning curve. I'll say around 12 or so years ago, there wasn't nearly as many options as there are now. We were eating products for probably the first 6 months to a year that we thought, oh yeah, these are all vegan. Like,
and then you find out that they're not.
Like alternative meats, there were very few of. There was Boca Crumbles had come out not that long after we went vegan. But not all Boca products are vegan, and we didn't realize that. So like we had been eating some things for a while that had like egg or milk or something, but not consciously.
Yeah.
So it was tricky, but it was rewarding, and for me, it has been a huge life-changing thing for me. As a vegetarian, I spent most of my younger years overweight and heavy. I mean, from early on. And I always struggled with my eating habits, and I was dieting since, probably 12, if I'm being honest. Like, aware and consciously trying to, like, make changes and restrict at 12. And I tried, over the years, heaps of different things and products and diets and all of that mess, and nothing has held or taught me how to eat healthily as having a vegan diet has done. Now, that being said, you can eat plenty junky being vegan, but it's still going to be a better option most of the time. Like, for instance, we have that Impossible Whopper at BK now. I think that's amazing, and what people might not realize is, aside from it being a plant-based option, it's actually a healthier option. It's going to have less fat and no cholesterol. And even just swapping that out, it's still a slightly healthier option. So even if I'm eating a little junkier, I tend to still be eating healthier, and it's been easier for me. It's been way easier for me that way. Also, I love to eat, you guys. I love to eat, and that was always hard for me, like portion control. Portion control. Well, I like to eat, and I like to eat when I'm happy, and I like to eat when I'm sad. I like to eat when it's a special occasion, and yes, exactly.
I want to eat when I'm bored.
Exactly. So to know that if I eat more plant-based, especially like whole food plant-based, that I can actually eat way more food and feel way more satiated that way. So, of course, this is not a vegan podcast.
A little tangent there.
But if you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I'd love to answer any questions you might have. Let's see, what else? oh, my family and I lived on a school bus for 3 years. That's kind of a fun fact.
That is a fun fact.
When our daughters were little, we were moving, we were kind of like at the end of a rental situation. And so we were like, well, we have a little bit saved for our house, but like not as much as we need for a down payment for our house. What can we do in the meantime? Like, we didn't want to rent and just be putting all our money into rent. And I guess, like, if you were going by a stereotype kind of a thing that my family, my husband and I, are kind of crunchy hippie types. He's kind of a metal hippie, if that's a thing. We're going to say it is.
We're going to make it up.
That's him. That's him. So, we always loved, like, camping and traveling. You know, go to rainbow gatherings and stuff. So we've been around like converted school buses and stuff before, and we thought, oh, let's just buy a school bus.
Just go with it.
Let's just do it. And so we bought a school bus. Our dad helped us. We already had it partially converted when we bought it, and he helped us finish converting it so it would be more family friendly and functional. And then we had friends living about an hour and a half away, closer into Ocala. At the time, we were living in Central Florida, and they had about 3 acres worth of property that they let us park our bus on and live, and it was so wonderful. Our kids still to this day will talk about that experience like it was some kind of like magical, whimsical thing. And for the most part it was. Don't think that it was not without its struggles though.
Oh, I
Living
can
in a school bus comes with its own struggles.
Oh, I'm sure.
Which leads me
I could never.
to present day. So right now, the home we own, it's a very old home. It was built in the 50s and we're under renovations. And so because of that, we are living back in the bus, but now our kids are 12 and 14, and oh my gosh.
It's a whole different world.
There was zero privacy when they were little, but now there's even less. So
we're still like in the negative privacy.
Yeah. It's been interesting to say the least. Hobbies. How about some hobbies? So this year, I knocked off my to-do bucket list to get 200-hour yoga teacher certification. So I technically am a yoga teacher, or could be a yoga teacher if I start teaching. If I'm being honest.
Certified.
Yeah, I'm certified. I want more education before I start teaching because I feel like the 200 was just not enough. So I probably will wait, but I feel really accomplished. I hadn't done any schooling for so long that it was hard. It was hard, and I was so worried, and Shannon helped me so much with it. I was so worried and so paranoid and worried about my essays, and I did so well, and I feel so accomplished in that.
You should be proud. That's amazing.
I also love to crochet. After my daughter Nova was born, we lived with my husband, with my mother-in-law, and we moved away from my sisters and from my mom, from my family, and I felt so alone. Fortunately, my mother-in-law is amazing. I know a lot of people can't stand their mother-in-laws. My mother-in-law was like a second mom. She was amazing and wonderful, and she also happened to be a serial crafter. So when we moved in with her, in the garage, she had a bunch of those like big Tupperware bins, and they all had different crafts in them. So I would get bored, baby would be asleep, and I would like go rummaging. And one day I was rummaging and I found a bin that had a couple of crochet books in it, a couple of not finished projects, and some yarn. And I asked her about it, and she was like, oh, I haven't done it in so long, but if you get stuck on something, maybe I can help you work it out. So I basically taught myself to crochet from a book with her helping me along the way.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And that was, almost 14 years ago, because Nova's 14 and she was like 3 months when we moved. So I've been crocheting a long time. I have an Etsy. If you guys want to buy any stuff,
Buy the stuff.
I also host Crochet Club once a month at our local library. Shout out to our locals, our fellow Floridians. Yes. We are some Florida-loving ladies, and you will learn that soon enough. I guess some of my other interests include working out and health, which is, if you knew me as like a teen, you would have never thought that. No. But as we grow and change into adulthood, we try to change for the better. And it's something in my life that has brought me such a stress reliever. It's been wonderful, not just for my physical health, but my mental health. And I can tell you, there have been days, there was a day recently, like last week, I walk with the baby in the mornings for about an hour, and sometimes I do something before that, before I go into work, and I did nothing all day. And then I had Zumba. Oh, I talked to you. I had Zumba that night, and I was like, oh my God, if I don't get Zumba in, I think I might just kill somebody.
Like, you need that.
You needed it.
Yeah.
What is it
So
called?
endorphin release.
Endorphins and Legally Blonde. She's like,
oh yeah,
exercise gives you endorphins. And happy
Endorphins
people,
make you happy.
Yeah, happy people don't just choose their husbands. That was my favorite part of that movie.
That's a great movie. I just watched that with the kids fairly recently.
Did you?
Oh my gosh.
That's not something I would see you watching.
Yeah. Oh my God, everybody loves that movie. Another one that's kind of like that we watched, Mean Girls.
Yeah.
I know at first it's like, Mean Girls, but they've been making, she's really into like musicals, and they've been making so many movies into musicals lately, and so they made Mean Girls into a musical, and someone at school was listening to it. It's good. I mean, I've only heard it, I haven't gone to see it anywhere. But it, she was like, oh, is it okay if I listen to this Mean Girls musical? And I was like, yeah, I don't care. You should see the movie.
Yeah.
But first she had no interest. But now that there's a musical and her friends are listening
now
to
it's
it,
different.
of course she wants to check it out. And we watched it, and it's hilarious. It's so good. And that's another movie you would maybe think I wouldn't be into, but I am.
But it is one of those ones that you can watch again and be like, oh, I didn't catch that the first time, like little snide remarks and stuff. So little guilty pleasure TV.
Yeah. So I guess that's a good chunk about me. I know I've been rambling on for a while. Shannon.
I always feel really boring in comparison.
Yes, same here.
That's crazy.
I am full-time employee, full-time student, full-time parent. I work in the financial industry and the staffing industry. So typical 9 to 5, which never is actually 9 to 5. It's always
9. You're going at like 6.
It's more like 6 to 7, like 13 hours, not 1, unfortunately. But and then I'm also in school full time for program management. I am about a year out. Thank God, finally, I'm almost there. I took a break from college whenever. I guess I was 18. I wanted to take a little break.
You know, that gap year that turned into like
Oops.
12
years later. Back in school, 30 years old. I am remarried. I was married, had Aubriana.
So you have 2 children.
I have 2 children. Yeah, from my second marriage. I have Zoe is 10 and Aubriana is 8. And they are a hot mess express, and I love them dearly, but they're a mess. Part of the basis of this whole podcast now, blog, YouTube, whatever you want to call it
all
now.
of the things.
We're just going to call it all the things, is that we are so incredibly different. We all have the same mother, we were raised the same way, and
all of us have different views on everything, different feelings towards.
But we all have very similar morals and values, but very different opinions on life.
So that being said, I've never lived on a school bus. And
you don't want to die.
You wouldn't be able to do it.
I don't even like to camp.
You don't even like camping in a cabin.
Yeah.
I really don't even like low-grade hotels, to be honest. I'm kind of a hotel snob.
Just
Starbucks advocate.
Starbucks sponsor us.
Right, dear. Nothing would make me happier.
No.
It saves me
Surely
a lot
we're
of
the ones
money.
keeping that store in business.
At least the one on our side of town.
Right?
They know us so well too. Oh my God.
I know, it's funny. I saw it's Connor, right?
Love Connor.
Connor this morning, he's like, oh, you're gonna hang out with your sister? He's like, oh, did you get a new car? I'm like, no, it's my husband. And then I stalled out. And he's like, yep, not your car.
Yeah, they know us. They'll be like, oh, I saw your sister this morning. Or I had last week we went through and they were like, oh, are you podcasting today? And I was like, yeah, we are actually. I don't even know that anyone listens to our podcast,
but they know that
we
we
podcast.
have one.
They know who we are, and that Without Me podcast, which is really cool.
Oh, I think that's so fun. What else about me? I don't know. You had like so many things. I don't
Well,
really...
you are very busy.
Yes.
Yes.
You always keep your kids in
So
all these
much.
activities.
That's true, yeah. My kids are my number one priority of everything. We do soccer, we do lacrosse, basketball, Girl Scouts, gymnastics. Cheerleading is coming up now.
You know, my life's not real boring compared to both y'all.
You'll get there, don't worry.
I'm very much your typical overworked, over-scheduled mom in the 20th century.
I don't know how you do it because I love my kids, but I do not park them all the places like that. I'm not and if I'm being honest, I'm not a PTO mom. I love people. I am not a PTO mom.
I am a write the check mom.
Do we have to go?
Yeah,
Do I have to be in a meeting? Not too much.
Well, my girls are in a Catholic private school, so
you have to go to
Yeah, you don't have to.
you are in the PTO. There is no you're voluntold what you
Voluntold.
what you will and won't do. There's actually a criteria, like a certain amount of hours that you have to hit every year. But I absolutely love the school. We started with the Catholic school. I think we're on our 3rd year now. And it's just been an amazing transformation for both my kids. They're pushed, they are learning all the morals, all the things that I want them to learn that I'm not necessarily the best at teaching all the time because I'm human and I'm not perfect. I mean, we all are. But
you can be a great mom and not be a great teacher.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
That's what it is. I'm not a great teacher by any means. So, super grateful for the school. It's been an amazing experience for us. I'm a little bit sad that actually it's gonna like come to an end one day. Like
Aww.
before we know it, like Zoe is in 5th grade, so
What, 3 more years?
3 more years and she's out.
Whew.
It's crazy how quick it happens. Brianna is my stage 5 clinger. And Zoe is 10, so she's kind of getting to where she's a little bit too cool for me right now.
Yeah, she wants like nothing to do
She's
with
going,
you.
she's going through that phase. So she secretly adores me.
Oh yeah.
She just doesn't like to tell her friends.
Yeah, I get that.
So I make certain to be like, bye honey, have a good day, I love you.
What about hobbies, Shannon? What kind of hobbies do you have?
I don't have a whole lot of hobbies, honestly. Like
Well, you're very enthusiastic about your job, and that's
Well,
very,
yeah.
you're very
I am.
passionate, and that's important to you. Obviously, your kids and their extracurriculars are important to you. But what do you like to do on your downtime?
Self-care is really something that I struggle with.
Oh.
Because finding self-care, I am definitely mental health advocate, 100%.
Yeah.
I struggle with depression and anxiety. It's nothing new. It's something that, for the most part, I have under control these days. Super grateful for that. It's not always been that way. So I talk about that quite a bit on the podcast.
Yeah.
Very open about it, very transparent about it. Some days really, really suck.
Yeah.
And some days it's hard to believe that there's anything, I hesitate to say wrong, but that
Yeah.
there's anything off or wrong or diagnosed about me.
Right.
Because some days are just that good. But that's the lovely
So
joy.
when you do have like time for self-care, just time for yourself, what do you like to do?
I go for like the very traditional, the pedicures or the lunch with friends. The whole podcast, of course, is a hobby of ours.
Oh yeah.
I hadn't really considered that a hobby until just now, which I guess that's what it would qualify under.
Yeah.
It's time that I'm taking away from my life, that I'm
Well, and
taking a
that's kind
step
of,
back, really.
when we started this podcast, that's kind of where we came from. It's like, well, even if mommy is our only person, shout out to mommy, our
Yes.
biggest
We know
fan.
you're watching.
If only mommy is the only person watching us.
That's
and
totally
It's
fine.
just us getting together once a week, and we have that time.
Yeah, it's time for us to
Matter.
decompress. We can vent to each other. We can just take in each other's opinions on everything. And it's nice to have that different point of view sometimes.
Oh yeah, and sometimes I feel like you need it. Sometimes you get so set in like seeing something one way, and even if it's not like you don't 100% agree, you might be like, okay,
You can
I see where
understand
you're
it a
coming
little
from.
bit.
I see where you're coming from with that. and can kind of flip your view of things. And I think that helps.
Yeah, I feel like since we started doing the whole podcast, and of course now I can't think of a single example to like give you, but I have so many more opinions about things that I never had an opinion about before because I didn't know anything about it. But it's really been fun to take a topic, dig into it, and see how do I feel about this, or what do I think about this, and what are the other sides. So it's been a lot of fun for me. I do a lot of traveling. We're very big in travel. We've been to Europe twice, I guess, in the past 5 years.
So awesome. So cool.
We went to Versailles, Paris, London. There are other places that we went that I can't remember. Rome.
What has been your favorite place?
Greece.
Yeah, I want to go to Greece so bad. It's
Greece
definitely on my bucket list.
I loved everything about it.
Yes.
It was amazing. Actually, fun fact, other than recently traveling to New York for work several times, I've actually not traveled in the U.S. very much.
Oh.
Most of my travel has been international.
That is a fun fact. Wow. That's crazy.
I've been more places overseas than I have different places in the U.S. I've pretty much been to like Georgia, New York, and Ohio.
Yeah.
Like, that's about it. Like, I've done nothing exciting, not seen any big deals.
The furthest I've been is New York when I went for high school.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then I don't even really count New York because I saw a hotel and an office.
Yeah.
I saw some food. Some restaurant
food,
yes.
I mean,
that one room that had the really nice balcony where you could open
Yeah, my company, there were many perks, and it was something else I struggle with is mom guilt. Like, so bad because I went through the traveling that I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, even though you're working and it's stressful, and then you still feel guilty for being
I'm like, I've got this nice balcony, I'm sitting there in my robe with my, like, showered after a long day with my room service
your wine on your balcony.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be really sad, like, because I'm not with my kids, and I adore my kids, like, I live for my children.
You want some mom guilt? We took a honeymoon to Disney without kids.
Oh yeah, then you feel really bad.
That was bad.
Oh god, the whole time you're like, oh,
they would love this.
Yeah.
And then we're like, that'd be another $400 though. And
I think I'm good.
I'm not a huge fan of amusement parks, and
we love them.
Why? I don't like the waiting, and I don't like to wait. Okay, if there's to me, if there's a purgatory or a hell, it's waiting in line for anything. Waiting in the pickup line with no AC.
It's horrible.
That is hell right there. That is hell. Oh my god.
Horrible.
Whew. Well, that is mostly about me. I'm Catholic, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I work a lot.
You're real busy.
I'm real busy all the time. And yeah, I'm pretty much a perfectionist, which is really hard to be whenever you are trying to be everything at once.
Yeah.
So, that's me so far.
So, I am the youngest.
The baby. Although
Tina would like to argue that.
I'm the baby.
She likes to be treated as the baby.
Everybody has a baby in the family. Everybody has a baby in the family, and I am very much treated as the baby. I was the sick one.
It's because you're sick. That's
why.
You were the sickly one.
I was the baby.
Yes.
Growing up, whenever I was about 18, I mean, I've always been
treated
as a baby.
Always. When you were little too.
I was always sick. Nothing serious
until I
turned 18.
remember a holiday party where you weren't like sickly or something. You know, I always felt that. Like I would be, of course, I like to eat. I'd be like, oh nom nom nom, all the holiday foods and stuff, and you'd be all like laying on the couch, feverish. And I would be like, oh, I felt so bad.
Here, let me just eat yours too.
And I did.
So they were healthy and I was sick, so I've just always been treated as a baby, and I don't think it ever really went away.
It didn't.
So.
But yes, technically I am the baby.
Yeah.
Just not treated as so. I have 2 little boys. We have Matthew, who is 7. He will be 8 in February. And Jack, who is turning 6 next month.
Who loves me more than anything in the world.
I don't know why. I have no idea why.
Other than the kid cops at Starbucks.
She bribes him. So Jack is what mommy calls him, our sass hole. Because he is not always very nice.
Sour Patch Kid.
But he is so sassy. And let me just throw in this little antidote. So I'm going through the Starbucks drive-through,
Oh,
right?
gosh.
And I'm just grabbing a coffee, and he is yelling, chocolate croissant, chocolate croissant. And I'm like, what? He's like, I want a chocolate croissant. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, you're getting chocolate covered grams because they come 2 in a pack, and there's 2 of you.
Yep, right.
And he was like, throwing a little fit, and I was like, oh, so you don't want anything? And he, of course, he kept whining, and as soon as we got to that window, he was like, I want fudge cookies. But Aunt Shannon is a spoiler.
Aunt Shannon will...
Cake pops at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Here you go.
So bad. So bad.
But he loves me.
He does. And both of my boys have...
To be fair, though, I do spoil them both.
Yes.
Jack just responds to it more.
Yeah, he does. He does.
But both of them have ADHD and ODD. We tried everything, absolutely everything. We tried the changing their diets, keeping them occupied.
It's been years.
Years.
Oh, years.
So many years. We've tried rewards, taking, everything, and nothing worked. And we recently did cave, and I put them on medication.
Not something
Very
taken
low.
lightly.
It was not taken lightly.
We were
I
all
tried
so
everything. Sorry, I'm not very comfortable right now.
It's alright. Get yourself right.
Within just the first day of them being on this medication, completely different kids during school. And my biggest worry was, were they going to be like zombified?
No, they're still so spunky.
I was so worried too.
So much sass to Jack still.
As a matter of fact, we were so nervous.
Yes.
Because they wanted to, I thought they were going to like wait till the weekend. They had like, I think it was like a Monday or something.
It was
they went in.
Tuesday.
And it was a Tuesday.
That we
I was
started
like,
the
oh my
medication.
God, first thing.
And
we were so worried that they were going to be little zombies, and I picked them up in the afternoons, and I picked them up, and Heather's like, how are they? Are they zombies? They were fine. They were fine.
completely same children.
I had to go by the bank. Jack threw a fit in the bank, threw himself in the floor. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure they're exactly like where they're supposed to be, like their normal self.
I didn't think it made such a huge difference, and the other day I realized I forgot to give them their medication.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, and I got an email from both their teachers. Oh my gosh, they're not listening today. They're so. I'm like, what is going on?
Why are they having an off day?
Yeah, and then it wasn't until later that night I got home and I was talking to my husband about it. He was like, did you give them their meds this morning? I was like, yeah, of course
Oops.
I don't think I did.
Yeah.
Sure enough, next day gave them their meds. Perfect again in school.
It's
Both got
amazing
great
to me.
colors.
It's amazing to me.
I can
Just
tell.
a simple low dose. Like it's not like I've got them on a high dose or anything. I've literally
They just
the
need
lowest
that
dose
little
possible.
bit to help them focus while
Just
they're at
takes the
school.
edge off. And
It's
lets
been like
them-
night and day.
But I can tell by 10 o'clock in the morning if I've forgotten my meds and I'm like,
Really?
the crazy talk starts happening and
Yeah.
I'm like, no, we're not
Something
doing
isn't
this
right
not
here.
today.
So that's my boy's story. I am married, well remarried. I got divorced 5 years ago almost now. It wasn't pretty, but we've hopefully now come to
Turned a new leaf.
a new, I don't even know what to call it yet. It's still very new that we are being very civil with each other and actually able to converse finally. All about the kids, and it's going to stay that way. Just hoping it stays that way. It's very new. But I remarried. My husband's in the military. That's really not all that fun to deal with, to be honest.
Yeah.
No.
It's extremely hard, and we're looking at deployments coming up, but that's just all part of it. We are trying to buy our first house.
Woohoo!
We are
That's exciting.
still waiting to hear back about the loan.
Oh, I can't believe you haven't heard back
Nope,
yet.
they told us another 10 days.
Oh, goodness.
Ugh.
That's the worst.
That's like the hardest part of it.
Yes.
It's like you're like if it's yes, it's yes. If it's no, it's no.
Just tell me.
But the waiting
I
part
just need to know.
is so hard.
I actually did find my 16 personalities test.
Oh, cool.
And my results, my personality type is the adventurer.
Oh.
We have to pause the video.
It's okay.
We'll just edit it out.
Okay. Okay, we can go.
Well, we can get this.
Oh, we don't really have to edit it.
Yeah.
We can let it be. I don't even care.
Well, we can edit the video. It won't take much to take that out of it. But just start back. You know where to start back at it?
Yeah.
Personality type is the adventurer.
Oh. Ooh.
And with that, it says the individual traits are introverted is 69%, which I am. I'd much rather be at home than out and about with a bunch of people. Every now and then it's nice to go to that concert and go see a bunch of people before they get together, but it has to be in short spurts.
I'm
I
surprised
can't do
it's
the
only 60.
Yeah,
well,
it's very
60 what?
69%.
Oh, okay, almost 70. That makes
Yeah.
more sense. Because I would think more on the introvert side than the extrovert.
Observant, 56%.
Okay.
Which I agree with. I'm more like, again, if I'm out in the crowd, I'm more one to hang back and just people watch. I like people watching. Feeling, which I don't understand what it means by feeling, but it's 75%. And
Means like, I think that means like like someone that is tied to their emotions.
oh, well,
you
yeah,
know?
that's true.
You're
Now these last
tied to
two,
your
I don't
feelings.
really understand what they mean. Prospecting is 79% and turbulent is 85%. I don't, maybe you can explain those. I don't know what those mean.
I'd have to look at the category. Mine is J on the end, and I know it means judging. So obviously we're
Mine's
opposite.
T on the end for turbulent. Does that turbulent to me is like not steady.
Yeah, well, mine is, I know judging is because it doesn't mean like I am a judgy person. What it means is that I prefer to kind of sit back and assess and go off of a judgment as opposed to like go by the seat of my pants.
Okay.
Kind of thing. Like I like a plan. I like to know what's going on.
Yeah.
I want to scope out the situation before I make a decision.
Yeah, that's totally how
And I will make the decision, and that's why it's judging.
Mhm.
I don't just be like, oh, we'll see how it goes. Like
Maybe that's because that's how I am. Is I kind of see how it goes.
I used to think I was spontaneous, but then I realized as I get older, I'm not spontaneous. I'm adventurous light. You know,
See,
like
I'm not. I like to just
a
do.
little adventurous. No, I'm
Yeah,
not
no, I
spontaneous.
can't-
I want
I'm
to
not
Which is
plan.
funny because my role is explorer.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I like to do that. I like to just go and do, but not with bunches of people.
Yeah, I get that.
I like to go and do with my crowd, my little tribe.
My little tribe, yeah.
And
I'm
then-
not spontaneous at all. Like this whole mother-in-law, will she live with us? Will we build a building on? Will we be doing this? Like,
Yeah.
it's not that I have a problem with it or even really strong opinions on anything. It's that I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
and
just
I
give me an answer.
Does that drive you nuts? Because that drives me nuts
Killing
too. The
me.
not knowing drives me nuts too.
Yeah. I can't handle it. And Ben's like, it'll work out. And I'm like,
That's
I
great.
understand that it will work out, but I need to know how it's going to work out.
I need to know what do I need to do next so it
Yes,
can work out. Like I've got a plan every step of the way.
I need to be able to have my list.
Oh yes. Ooh.
See, where I don't really go off the list. I
Yeah.
just kind of go off the seat of my pants and just go.
Yeah, you are a little more than
I can see that.
Sure.
Yeah. So it says my strategy is constant improvement,
Oh, I mean
Constant trying to
that's
improve,
great.
yeah.
That's great.
which kind of falls into the fact that I just finished my schooling. I'm taking my mental health week because I freaking need one.
What are you going to school for?
Dental assisting.
Okay.
And we'll see how it goes. If I can get a job in the field.
Sure you will.
I still have
Don't
to...
doubt yourself. Does it say self-doubter on there? Because
No.
I definitely say
That would
that's
be on
one of your-
mine.
That's one of
It
your
is.
traits for sure.
It is. But I, for the past year, have been going to school for it.
Yeah.
I am so happy to be done. I need the mental health week.
I'm so jealous.
I am too. I was thinking the same thing. I'm so jealous. I want a mental health week.
I need the mental health week. I need to get back to just me. I need time to get back with all the things I've been neglecting to do.
Yeah. Well, and you are getting ready to be moving.
Hopefully.
So that's a lot. Like that
Yes.
week, I'm sure, even though it's a mental health week,
I'm
you're
gonna be-
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I may take just one whole day to just do nothing. I'm gonna binge watch. I'm gonna do whatever I want. I would say beach, but it's supposed to be cold, so probably won't.
Yeah, I'm taking off the 3 days, and there's
Crap weather.
ugh, I want to say that I'm going to do nothing, but I have so many things that I haven't been doing that I've got to do.
Mhm.
Heather, what kind of hobbies and interests do you have?
I don't really know if it's considered a hobby. I like to get out, like, go hiking with.
That's not a puppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't do it often enough because I don't do it alone. And my friend Stephanie's really the only person I go with, but our schedules kind of clash. They don't really meet up that much. So I haven't been in a while, and I really want to go again. Actually.
Let's go. We should say that
if I'm
we
doing
live
nothing
very
Friday.
close. We're fortunate we all live very close.
Yes.
Heather lives right up the street from me. Like, my kids can walk to her house. We can walk to her house in less than 5 minutes. It's like
2.5.
It's
we
like
all,
3 minutes.
we all live very
Shannon
close
lives
together.
like 2 blocks over or something.
Yeah.
It takes maybe 10-15 minutes to walk to your house.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mom, it takes
like
about
8 minutes.
Yeah, I would say 10 to 15 minutes if you're walking.
Just in the other
if you're
direction.
walking.
Yeah.
And that's mostly because you have to wait. You have to cross.
Yeah.
You have to wait for the crosswalk. So I love that so much. I know you were talking about having to find a new place, and I'm like, oh, I hope we can find something close.
Yeah.
It's so nice, especially like, you know, oh, hey, I have this thing that came up. Can you go run and pick up my kids? And it's like, sure, because I'll pick
It's
them up,
right
and
there.
then your house is right there.
Yeah.
You're not out of the way. It's not like we have to drive across town.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like to drive.
Me either.
At
I keep
all.
getting run over. I have terrible
That's
luck.
a fun fact. Shannon has been in several car accidents.
Yes. Not my fault.
Yeah.
But
you have to keep out
I,
those back issues because
I
of
do.
it.
I've got a lot of back issues and stuff. Like, see, that's whenever I struggle with hobbies because I love Zumba and I did like doing all kind of different stuff like that. But I can't right now.
Yeah, and that's so
So
frustrating. Oh my gosh.
I did running for a while.
Ugh,
I have a
don't like
love-hate relationship with running.
Yeah.
But I did a couple of marathon, not marathon. Whoa, hang
What
on.
are they called? 5K.
5Ks, not marathons. Let's not go crazy here.
Marathons are intense.
I did do the Gate River Run though.
Oh, that's
That was
cool.
good.
That was what? Was it a 10K?
I don't know.
I
It's
was
all too many
confused.
Ks.
It
Yeah,
was
for my life.
it was like 9-10 miles. I know.
Yeah.
Is what the equivalent was. I didn't run the whole thing. Let's not get crazy.
I like being active and fitness, but I don't have great endurance. And running, I was always like, am I done yet? Like, walk a little bit, run a little bit. Walk a little bit, run a little bit.
I'm yawning today. I'm sorry.
Not enough coffee.
Yeah, but there's never enough coffee.
But I think that's about all of us.
All right, so yeah, I think that was pretty good for a description.
Just a little
of the three of us.
reintroduction or introduction to
Introduction
YouTube and
for YouTube.
reintro for our.
So maybe we should talk a little bit about what kind of things that we are looking forward to achieving with this whole new YouTube venture. I know that we would like to start initially, we're going to try to start recording our podcast visually and audibly.
Audibly
And visually, so that we can have video and have our episodes posted for whatever you like. Everyone is in tune more with different senses. We have different learning types, so it just branches us out to more spaces. I know that eventually we would like to maybe do some reviews, maybe some craft videos, maybe some day in the life type videos.
Oh man.
Maybe some recipe videos. Let me just say that not either out of all three of us, none of us are like real good cooks.
No,
I love to
I'm
cook.
not.
But yeah, so do I. But that's not what I'm saying. Okay.
Wait, I actually really enjoy it.
I know. I'm not saying that we don't love to cook. I'm saying that we are not necessarily great cooks. I don't know.
Heather does really well.
I'm
a good cook.
She's eaten your food in 15 years.
Right?
That's true.
I'm offended. I'm a great cook.
No, don't be offended. I'm just saying it's not like we're professionals,
Oh,
right?
no.
But we probably could post a couple of fun recipe videos here and there. That would be kind of nice to do. We also, with our podcast, have been wanting to start a Dear Sisters, kind of like an advice column where people can write in or
three
message
different
us
opinions on their
Viewpoint.
yes.
on their situation, whereas opposed to like, you know, if you did like Dear Abby, well, you only got Dear Abby telling you like, well, I think maybe this. I think if people want to send us in questions that we might have a little bit more perspective.
Which can be kept anonymous, of course.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Please, if you choose to be anonymous, write it on there. If you were like, hey, shout me out, we'll do that too. So, yeah, just a lot of fun, exciting things. obviously we have a lot of technical bugs and kinks and sound and light and all that fun stuff to work out. Shout out to Chris, my husband, who's going to help us with this technical stuff because we don't really know what we're doing. We just know we like to talk. So
clearly,
we hope that you enjoy it too. Hey. We hope that you enjoy it too. You can expect to hear a lot about our beloved state of Florida and our beloved little town. We live in St. Augustine, the oldest European settled city in America, and we love it. I know I moved away for a little while. I think as teenagers, I know I grew up
moved across the world.
All right, that's just true.
I never left. That's why I'm the favorite.
As a teenager, I was like, I had that like teenage angst. Oh, I just can't wait to get out of here. Can't wait to get out of here. And then I saw the world a little bit, and I was like,
not too much.
I'll come home.
I miss my home. I miss my cozy town. I miss. I remember when we lived more Central Florida, and we would come to visit. I loved the smell of low tide, and I was telling a friend of mine.
You were telling me that.
Was it you?
Yes.
I was like, I love the smell of low tide, and you were like, ew. Gross.
And then I moved in with you, and I came back, and I was like, I missed it so much.
See? We just love our town, and we love to support local. So if you have a local business or something, we did just recently do a giveaway. We'd love to do shout-outs. On our Instagram, we like to shout out different local restaurants or different events that are going on.
Speaking of giveaways, while we're on here,
Yeah.
do we want to do a Christmas, like towards Christmas?
I don't know. We'll have that update maybe next week. So we also do a segment usually on our podcast where we start off with a trial, so something we've been struggling with for the week, because it's nice to know as a listener or viewer that you're not alone in this. And a big part of this podcast is about opening up communication, transparency, but also acceptance, so that people know that, yeah, maybe I don't agree with you, but that's okay. I still can love and support you and understand you, even if I don't agree with what you're going through. There's so much nastiness, so much hate, so much negativity in this world.
We as women, or just
people in
general, need to bring each other up instead of always just being negative and putting each other down, thinking that's going to build them. You don't build someone up by pushing them down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So we have a lot of fun, exciting things in store for you. Of course, we would love to hear some feedback. You can email us at threesistersoneheartpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Three Sisters One Heart Podcast on Facebook.com. You can also listen to us at Libsyn,
Spotify,
and iTunes.
Finally, iTunes. We got it worked out.
And if you go on iTunes and you want to give us a little shout out or give us a good review, we super appreciate it. We just recently got onto iTunes because that shows you how tech savvy we are.
Yeah.
This whole time we thought we were on iTunes, and we're like, yeah, listen to us on iTunes.
Libsyn lied to us and told us that we were on it, and we were not really on it.
We don't know what we're doing. You guys, we're in this together.
We're flying by the seat of our pants here.
Sounds about right for me.
Yeah, so for those of you that are watching the video on YouTube, thanks for sticking through our first video. If you would like to give us a shout out, say hey, give a comment or a suggestion, please try to keep it nice. We're not about all that troll life, but please
we'll probably just have some quirky backfire comment if it is a troll comment, just warning.
Yeah, I know. I don't have a super thick skin though, if I'm being honest. And actually, when I mentioned this to Chris, he was like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I would just have to have someone else read the comments. That's all.
I can handle that part.
See,
I can.
someone else.
My mouth gets me in trouble sometimes.
Oh yeah, so does mine. It's okay. But so if you are visually, you're watching this on YouTube right now, please feel free to comment, to like, and if you like what you see, subscribe, because we're building a community. All right, thanks for joining us.